Good morning, everybody. To all mothers in the audience, happy Mother's Day. And of course, most importantly today, welcome to the MBA recognition ceremony for 752 special people right here, class of 2018. Let me be the first person to welcome you and give you special congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause. Collectively, your class is extraordinary, and it's extraordinarily diverse. You come from 57 different countries, as far as Chile, Sudan, South Korea, Kazakhstan, and the Netherlands, and you speak 33 different languages and dialects, including Portuguese, Tagalog, Japanese, Hebrew, Hindi, and I am told English. You come from countless industries and professional backgrounds, and among you, yes, are consultants and financiers, but also singers, bloggers, dancers, cooks, world travelers, and entrepreneurs of every stripe. I hope, and we all hope, that you take pride in all that you have accomplished. In fact, 3 of you have done exceptionally well academically during your time at the school and are graduating with a grade point average of 10.0 or higher. Congratulations for you. Now, today, this morning, you join a vibrant community of alumni who are decision makers and leaders at the center of business. Entrepreneurs, industry pioneers, and game changers. In fact, 45,000 men and women all over the world who do influential and important work. Now, you've been working toward that role since the day you got here. And we've all been challenging you to be active and engaged members of the community. For those in the audience, let me assure you that these folks have more than met this challenge as students on campus, whether it's by serving your classmates through formal channels like the Peer Advisor Program and student government, playing a role in successful Columbia Forever or Women's Week, or lending an invaluable voice at club meetings and events, or simply sharing your ideas. Today, this morning, is the occasion we set aside so that we as faculty and administration at the school, together with your family and friends, can celebrate your enormous accomplishments and wish you success. I know that you leave this school well equipped, as leaders, as thinkers, ready to have an impact. And I look forward to seeing the change you will affect in the lives that you lead and in your communities. But I want you to take a moment with me and offer applause for those who have supported you in your time here, everybody who's been with you in the classroom, and especially your families. Individually, you have been exposed to thought leadership that is informed by real-time global business environments. Research from the faculty shows up in the classroom, and the curriculum and access to leaders in New York City really are unrivaled. And you have access to internships in the best firms in finance or social enterprise retail, to name a few. The reputation, the strength of this place has equipped you with the knowledge and access that you need to make a lasting impact. As an alum, it will now provide you connections to support and foster creativity, invite your entrepreneurial thinking, and open doors to opportunity. These are tools that can help strengthen your confidence and your ability to succeed on your own terms. But I have to say to you this morning that with the rewards of your MBA also come responsibility. What does it really mean to be a graduate of Columbia Business School? We hope and expect that you recall that we are and have always been in the business of value, but also the business of values. Yes, we are proud to be the birthplace of value investing. We strive to add value in all disciplines, but we also recognize and need you to recognize that personal values matter in the workplace. As you rise in your career, remember your courses in leadership and ethics, which I hope inspire you to pay forward and give back to new generations of students. I hope you recognize your role as proud stewards of Columbia Business School. Fortunately, you have many extraordinary examples to follow in fellow alumni. Alumni like Donnell Baird, class of 2013. Donnell's tackling 2 problems he witnessed growing up in Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn: chronic unemployment and high energy costs. His company, Block Power, trains unconventional employees to install energy-efficient technology for small businesses, for not-for-profits, and underserved communities, slashing energy costs and carbon dioxide. He's been recognized both as a business person, value, but for his social contributions, values. Another example can be found in Shazi Visram, class of 2004. Shazi founded Happy Family, which is the leading premium organic baby and toddler food brand in the country. In 2011, Happy Family debuted as #2 among food and beverage companies. The same year, Shazi was named one of the 10 top female entrepreneurs in the country. She launched the idea while she was in business school and sold a big stake in it to Danone in 2013. Meanwhile, when John Stein, 2009, was a novice investor, he thought he could do better than what economics professors had drilled into him. By the way, that's always a mistake to think that. The lesson that he was trying to avoid was that the market portfolio was the right one to own. After his first stock pick, which happened to be Enron, failed, and after deciding to heed economists' advice, wise, he created Betterment, an online investment advisor which offers consumers a better, more convenient way to invest in the market portfolio. Today, over 270,000 customers invest more than $10 billion with Betterment. You might also think of Jerry Speyer or Lee Cooperman, Henry Kravis, Robert Smith, Russ Carson, Warren Buffett, Mario Gabelli, Jamie Kern-Lima, John Martin, Tim Campos, or any of 45,000 movers and shakers. That community, that network, is an asset. It belongs to you. You should leverage it for a lifetime. So what happens this morning exactly? Well, in one sense, perhaps the familiar sense, you'll graduate. You will become part of the alumni network throughout the world. You go from being a student to being an alum, continuing to make his or her mark in the world, like Teresa Saputo-Arend and Louis Parks, who will be presented this Wednesday with the Alumni Medal of Service to Columbia. It's precisely with these thoughts in mind that we all celebrate your graduation from a great business school today. It's a world-class education. I'm proud to have worked with many of you in the classroom, and I'm particularly proud to be your dean. But while it's easy to be reflective on a day like this, I prefer the more old-fashioned term than graduation. I prefer the term commencement, because it has a specific reference to both beginnings and transitions. You begin soon a renewed life of engagement in business and in society. You have much to contribute to both, and I know, and we all know, that you will. But most of all, if there's one thing to remember today, I want you to never forget what a noble calling business is, and the power that lies within each and every one of you to transform the lives of other business leaders and entrepreneurs, your fellow alumni, communities, and nations around the world. Remember, your MBA is a master of choices. What matters most to me, matters most to all of us, is not the change that's jingling in your pockets after commencement, but the change you will make in the world. Congratulations again. Give yourselves another round of applause. It is now my pleasure to give a Columbia Business School welcome to our distinguished speaker, Senator Ron Wyden. The very first thing that MBA students experience at Columbia is a course on leadership and personal values. As I noted earlier, we take values seriously because we take leadership seriously, which is why Senator Wyden is such a fitting speaker today. He has spent his career creating value by finding common ground across the political spectrum. I don't think that's terribly easy today, Senator. I thank you for that. He pushes innovative policies that protect our seniors, children, and fellow Americans. Those represent values that he holds dear and values the nation holds dear through principled bipartisanship. He's also introduced comprehensive tax reform, improvements to Medicare, health care reform legislation, and improvements to security infrastructure and surveillance laws. He's championed solutions that allow parties to stay true to their values and beliefs while bringing out agreements that bring value to the nation. He was first elected to Congress in 1980 to represent Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. He was elected to the United States Senate in 1996 and is currently the ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee and a member of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. Ultimately, we want all of our graduates to be outstanding leaders like Senator Wyden. In fact, his daughter, Lily, is poised to be such a leader as she graduates with you today. It's my pleasure and honor to have him here. Please help me welcome Senator Wyden.
Dean, thank you very much for that unquestionably inflationary introduction. And graduates, Lily reminded me this morning that you like your speeches short and your celebrations long. So I am pleased to say, at this early hour, I now declare this program to be a filibuster-free zone. I knew that'd go over well. Graduates and family members and friends, we all congratulate you today. I know there is great pride for what you've accomplished, and by the way, who you have surrounded yourself with. The dean mentioned that there are 57 countries in the House this morning. That's a big fraction of the United Nations. There are rows and rows of students whose upbringings and cultures are very different. And you are united by a shared appreciation that one does not get a Columbia MBA by osmosis. The sweat equity that was built up over literally thousands of hours of hard work and sacrifice from you and your families is what made this day possible. And that is why all of us, parents and friends, are cavelling, that is Yiddish for gushing, over all of you today. Now, I'm going to start my brief remarks with a bit of wisdom from the late, great comedian Jack Benny. For those unfamiliar with Benny, he was the Jimmy Fallon of the Mesozoic era. One afternoon, Benny was confronted on a walk by an armed robber. The robber pointed a gun at him. The robber shouted, "Your money or your life." Benny rubbed his chin, kind of like this, and goes, I'm thinking. This infuriated the robber. The robber goes, What are you doing? It's your choice. And Benny said, because he was notoriously cheap, I'm trying to decide, man. The robber is now hyperventilating. He's never seen anybody like Benny. Throws up his hands and runs off. This is not being told to you to tout the virtues of procrastination. And it is not a metaphor for the world sticking a figurative gun in your face. The point, however, is, graduates, you do not have to choose between the life that you want to live and financial security. Now, with respect to life, you know life isn't going to be a cakewalk after you take off your robes. And it feels today like there are two kinds of people. Those who read the news and those who sleep well at night. And recently, you graduates got a snapshot of the life that awaits you after this ceremony. I saw the notice that went around the campus right before spring break, warning you to be careful about where you would travel over your holiday. Not hard, graduates, to get the drift about that. It was clear that depending on where and how you traveled, there was no guarantee that despite all of your hard work, you might not be able to get back in the country and be here to pick up your degree. That is, graduates, only one ominous example of the extremism creeping into our lives today. It has been joined by regular attacks on free speech, attacks on free press, attacks on free elections in this country. Around the world, autocrats and dictators have significantly limited the freedom of travel and more. Now, we have been challenged here before. Not too long ago, well-meaning and hardworking Americans faced down fascism. I know a little bit about it because it was part of my family's heritage. Decades ago, my Jewish father and his family fled the Nazis in Germany. Not all of them got out. My father had been kicked out of school for being unwilling to give the Nazi salute. He wasn't all that unhappy, though, because it meant he was no longer being beaten up for this small act of defiance. Upon arriving in America, my dad taught himself English at 11. A few years later, he wanted to take the fight to the Nazis on behalf of his new country. But it would be fair to say he was not exactly the most impressive physical specimen around. But boy, did he want to take it to the Nazis. So he convinced the army brass that he could write the propaganda pamphlets that we would drop on the Nazis from the air. Those pamphlets, they did the trick. They fell over the Nazi front lines in the dead of winter. Hitler, according to my dad's words, was gonna let all those troops freeze to death. They'd be frozen in a matter of weeks. I still have those pamphlets, and they smoke years later. In part because of those pamphlets from my dad and others, many Germans decided to pack it in, believing Hitler couldn't care less if they lived until spring. Now, that was a different era. Huge armies spread across the continents, putting an existential threat in front of entire nations. But make no mistake about it, graduates, freedoms are under attack today. And fortunately, every Columbia MBA has many more tools to protect freedom than my dad did with his little pamphlets. So I've got a request for each of you today, and that is to take the skills that you have sharpened on this campus and throughout your lives, work in opposition to the autocrats that scheme to reduce individual freedoms around the world. That could be something as simple as voting every election. It could mean building an inclusive, positive workplace that treats women and people of color and LGBTQ individuals with the same basic decency everybody deserves. It could mean running for office someday yourselves. Bottom line, I believe you will be amazed at the difference your ingenuity can make when it comes to defending human rights and dignity for all. Now a thought about the financial aspects of your days ahead. My take here is this is an extraordinary time to channel your inner Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin was the originator of the theory, do well by doing good. He proved that making money and making a difference, those two are not mutually exclusive. For example, right now, improving healthcare, when so many are falling between the cracks and suffering, or reducing carbon emissions, are just two urgencies that come to mind. And by the way, Columbia MBAs have a leg up on this doing well by doing good, because I know there have been courses here offered on socially responsible entrepreneurship. Little example, there's a US company called Zipline that has been working with the Rwandan government to use drones to deliver life-saving packets of blood to children in remote villages. The company is now pushing to take the essentials of modern medicine around the world. This month, the Federal Aviation Administration is looking at how companies like Zipline can deliver such products to rural Americans. And you don't have to look very far from our shores to do well with respect to healthcare by doing good. Last year, Americans spent about $3.5 trillion on healthcare. Now, Lily has reminded me of your very sophisticated math skills. So divide 320 million into 3.5 trillion. I see a couple people with calculators. I wonder if senators can count. And you could send every family of 4 in America a check for almost $40,000 and say, here, go buy some health care. So we're spending a lot of money. We're not spending it until very well. And until recently, the government, the federal government, had policies with respect to Medicare, the largest federal program, that actually served to hamstring entrepreneurs from being able to use their skills and their capacity to innovate and come up with new ideas. Here's what I'm talking about. Until recently, Medicare was basically an acute care program. That meant if you broke your ankle, you went to the hospital. Folks, that isn't Medicare anymore. Medicare today is about cancer. It's about diabetes. It's about heart disease. It's about chronic pulmonary disease. It is a chronic care program. And guess what? Both the Democrats and the Republicans missed it. With all the fighting, missed it. But I can stand before you today and tell you that the chairman of the Finance Committee, Orrin Hatch, he treats me like his son. My older daughter said the other day, she said, Dad, there are 25 senators older than you. She said, you're in the only profession on earth where somebody your age is considered young. And when I brought to him this idea of a chronic care bill, he said, absolutely. And so now more older people are going to get health care services where they want it, at home, less expensive than institutional care. We're going to see telemedicine play a bigger role. By the way, outside the home, this is going to be hugely important, because if you're in a small town, anywhere, and a patient has had a stroke and there's not a neurologist nearby, telemedicine is what gives you access to the best advice around the world. So that's what's going to change. And I just wanted to highlight particularly areas where I know that you all are going to be able to make an enormous difference for the well-being of people here and around the world. One final thought. As you all leave here today, working to promote freedom and doing well by doing good, one little bit of unsolicited advice. I believe you will never regret not taking a bolder leap. Life is just one run around the block, and sprint through as much of it as you can. So I mentioned that we parents are doing some serious cavelling today, and it seems like yesterday when Lily, who we're so proud of today, was just 4 years old. And I tucked her into bed one night, and her tiny chin was barely visible above the covers. She looked at me and she smiled and said, "Ah, nice, peace, quiet." Graduates, wherever your lives may take you, I wish you many happy moments like that. Godspeed and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Senator, for those thoughtful words. It is now my pleasure to welcome our student speaker this morning, Joshua Landay. Now, Josh has quite literally been playing the part of a leader since earning his master's degree in acting from the National Theater Conservatory at Denver's Center for the Performing Arts. After earning his bachelor's degree from Brown, he knew he wanted to pursue his ultimate passion of theater and has been gracing the stages ever since, from Broadway to London to Las Vegas. And importantly for us today, he's also a leader off the stage, serving as an arts educator with the New Victory Theater, developing curriculum and workshops for public school students throughout New York. Josh has been a highly engaged member of the Columbia Business School community. He served as chair of Cluster Y, VP of East Coast Visits for the Media Management Association, and VP of Performing Arts for the Arts Society. After graduation, he'll be joining Rosie's Theater Kids, an arts education organization, as the general manager, his most important role to date. Join me in welcoming Josh.
Thank you, Dean Hubbard, for your kind and generous introduction. And thank you, Senator Wyden, for joining us today. I would also like to thank you, my classmates, and the Office of Student Affairs for giving me the chance to share my thoughts with all of you. Thank you to our esteemed faculty and staff for giving us such an incredible experience during our time here at Columbia Business School. And thank you to all of our friends and family members for standing by our side and for being here with us this morning. Thank you. Thank you to my wife, Ashley, who inspires me every single day. To my dad and my father-in-law for all of your support. And to my mom, my mother-in-law, my sisters, and all of the other moms and extraordinary women in our lives, Happy Mother's Day. We love you. Day one. As you walk in the door, you're handed a few costume pieces, a hat, a pair of glasses, a necklace. You're nervous, but as you look around the room, you get the sense that everybody's nervous. So you sit down at the table, your name is displayed right in front of you, and you place your pen at the ready. Here we go. We all know this scene, but I never imagined that life in business school would be so much like life in the theater. I mean, who thought that we would have dance rehearsals that first week, right? We did. But that first day of orientation was remarkably similar to a first read-through of a play, with the key difference being that at CBS, each of us was seeking to define our role as opposed to having it handed to us. And the play hadn't been written yet. We would do that together, constructing our collective story, unified in purpose. And today, this moment, is our opening performance. Everything leading up to it has been preparation. We've already seen remarkable feats from this class. Among them, students who brought water filtration products to Mexico. Another student who, in the midst of his MBA, ran for political office. Another classmate who, just a couple weeks ago, opened her own hip new cafe. Our classmates are launching startups that are bound to shake things up. A new marketplace for pet insurance, an app for incentivized recycling, a networking platform for new teachers. But none of these students, not a single one of us, can achieve what we've set out to on our own. We rely on each other every day. And when any one of us reaches the spotlight, the rest of us don't just sit and watch. We stand by our classmates, supporting them every step of the way. But it's not just our accomplishments and our collaboration that make CBS special. This institution is unique because of who we are. This community has brought together a young man from Sudan and a young woman from Cleveland to serve as co-presidents of our class. This is a community in which a guy who self-identifies as a Muslim feminist from Pakistan and a Bronze Star Afghanistan veteran specifically chose to share their CBS Matters presentation. I treasure my own experience of embarking on a student-led Chazen tour to Guatemala, where we met leaders from large multinational corporations and small nonprofit organizations. And in doing so, we learned that both industry and philanthropy must play a pivotal role in transforming the lives of people in poverty. But beyond that, we had the chance to see Guatemala, our classmates' home country, through her eyes. At CBS, we have been given a gift to learn so much from each other, and in doing so, to learn so much about the world. But we still have work to do. You know, at every CBS Matters presentation where a student chooses to share what really matters to him or her, I find myself thinking, I never knew that. And I think we've all experienced this feeling, this moment when you realize that you never knew that someone went through such hardship, or you never realized that your classmate was so passionate about art or science or even math. You never had insight into what it was like to grow up in China or Argentina or Kazakhstan or Italy. And there's a great lesson to be learned in this moment of discovery. And that's the fact that for all of us, there's always something underneath. There's always something unexpected to be learned. We may be conditioned to make snap judgments about other people, but if we can continue to strengthen our ability to empathize, to give each other a chance, It won't only help us to do well by doing good, it will also empower us to be true global leaders. So I have to confess that I got more than a few requests for the Circle of Life, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, CBS Football Club, I'm looking at you guys, and Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. And while I'm not going to use this time to sing, there is a lesson to be learned from The Lion King. So for those of you who might not know the story, Simba, the future king, runs away from home when things get tough. He's scared, and he doesn't know what to do. But with the help of some unlikely friends he meets in the jungle, he's reminded of his responsibility, his duty. And with the help of those friends, he regains his confidence to come back home and fulfill his destiny. Throughout our lives, throughout our careers, things will get tough. But don't ever give up on your purpose, whatever you do. Our lead professor, Modupe Akinola, always said, "You were created because there is some problem out there that you are uniquely equipped to solve." We should all remember that, and when times get tough, we should trust that our classmates are there. After all, we don't just sit in the wings and watch. We stand by our classmates and support each other every step of the way. We look deeper to better understand who people really are underneath the silly hat, the glasses, the necklace, or whatever other costume a person might wear each day. And we stay true to our mission as each of us strives to truly define our role. Today's only the beginning. Let's seize this opportunity to reflect on what we've accomplished, to celebrate our achievements, and to stand shoulder to shoulder as the curtain rises. The world can't wait to see what we've got in store for them. Thank you, and congratulations to the Columbia Business School class of 2018.
You did great. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Josh, for the words of inspiration. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, most everyone. I understand there may be a few people in blue for whom good evening might be more appropriate at this point. I'm pleased to present two awards this morning, the Singvi Prize and the Lear Award. These two awards reflect the values of inclusion and recognition within the Columbia Business School community. The first award is the Singvi Prize for Scholarship in the Classroom. The recipient is selected by the graduating students and awarded to a full-time faculty member who exemplifies excellence in the classroom based on his or her dedication to teaching and ability to communicate knowledge and encourage students. Our winner this year teaches the core MBA and EMBA strategy course and an elective in technology strategy. He earned his BA from Columbia University and his PhD from Stanford. Students consistently say that they are thrilled to experience his liveliness, engagement, and overall terrific classroom environment. This year, he was named to Poets and Quant's list of the best 40 business school professors under the age of 40. While he is unable to join us in person because he is leading a student trip to Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia this week, please join me in congratulating the 2018 winner of the Singvi Prize for Scholarship in the Classroom, Professor Dan Wang. Our next award, the Robert W. Lear Award. The Lear Award is presented to a faculty or administrator for service to the students above and beyond the call of duty. This year's recipient is a proud first-generation college graduate from the College of Mount St. Vincent, who went on to earn his master's degree from Stony Brook University. He's known for his relentless enthusiasm and humor in working with our student government, clubs, and the peer advising program. He builds a sense of belonging by making each student he works with feel included, engaged, and valued. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 winner of the Robert W. Lear Award, Scott A. Siegel Ortiz. For the presentation of our Community and Service Awards, I have the pleasure to introduce to you our Dean of Students, Dean Z. Zalon Crawford.
Oh, I know you could do better than that. Before I start with our awards, I just wanted to say to all of you, I'm so proud of you. We will always be family, and CBS will always be your home. So protect your house. And don't do anything to compromise your own personal integrity or the integrity of the brand. Let's start. I'm pleased to continue the awards presentation by recognizing the recipients of the Community and Service Awards. The New York Alumni Club Award is given to a student in the top 10% of their class on the basis of exceptional academic achievement, outstanding character, participation in school affairs, and potential for civic, business, and professional leadership. This year's New York Alumni Award recipient is Jenny Ray LaRue. The Heffernan Award for Service, given to graduating students who serve the school behind the scenes and contributed to the academic standards, operations, spirit, and integrity of the business school community. These awards are selected by the administration. The Business School Student Services Award, honoring students who have made contributions to the business school community, are selected by all of you, the graduating class. The Heffernan Award for Service is presented to Victoria Din. Griffin Dowdy. Imani Gooden. Connor Leary. Andrew Quatuccio. Emily Snyder. Jefferson Taylor. Benjamin Tubiana. Jem Turkelly. And Matt Wilson. Oh, Matt. Recipients for both the Heffernan Award for Service and the Business School Service Award are Anna Augenas. And Molly Magnuson. Recipients for the Business School Service Award are Katie Cook. Gregory Feldman. Gabriel Gabo Gonzalez. TJ Ha. Vassam Husnain. Enrique Parada. Sarah Schenker. Alan Gransberg. Who was also selected by the first-year class for Outstanding Teaching Assistant Award, which is given in recognition to a student who provided outstanding skill, care, and involvement in presenting class material. Alan Gransberg. Last but not least, Renal Mahanka, who was also presented the Suresh Balaraman Prize. This prize is presented annually to graduating students who have demonstrated outstanding work in the field of finance. This is presented by Professor Charles Jones. For the remaining academic awards, I'm pleased to welcome back Dean Malone to the podium. Stand right next to him.
Thanks, Alon. We are pleased now to acknowledge Columbia Business School's Academic Awards recipients for the class of 2018. Students are selected by the faculty, and our faculty representatives will present recipients with their awards this morning. First, presented by Professor Elizabeth Webb, are two awards. The Schumann Hulbert Award in Marketing, which recognizes a graduating student with an outstanding record in the study of marketing who shows promise of future contributions to the field. And the Amina Elliott Webster Memorial Award in Marketing, given to a graduating woman who has shown overall academic excellence in the area of marketing. This year's recipient for both awards is Fareen Ahmed. Next, presented by Professor Charles Jones, is the Robert and Jacqueline Willens Tax Research Project Award. This award, it's a thing. This award recognizes superior performance in the area of tax theory and practice or research. And this year's recipient is Will Miao. Our next award, presented by Professor Aruj Khan, is the Robert H. Montgomery Prize in Accounting. The Montgomery Prize is awarded for excellence in the area of accounting, and this year's recipient is James Sarabir. Professor Medini Singh will present our next award. This award is the Award for Academic Excellence in Decision, Risk, and Operations, which is presented annually to a graduating student who demonstrates outstanding performance in the field. This year's recipient is Jacob Alcorn. The next two prizes will be presented by Professor Charles Jones. First, the Ellie Ginsberg Memorial Prize, is presented annually to a graduating student who has done outstanding work in the field of economics or human resources. This year's recipient is Jonathan Dwyer. Congratulations. A change in program. Our next award will be presented by Professor Bruce Kogut. The Nathan Gancher Prize for Social Enterprise, which is presented annually to the graduating student who best demonstrates dedication to the public and not-for-profit sector, and who exemplifies inner strength and personal integrity. Special consideration is given if that student can sing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." Therefore, this year's recipient is Josh Landay. Our final academic award is presented by Professor Todd Jick. The award for academic excellence in management is presented annually to a graduating student who demonstrates outstanding performance in the field. This year's recipient is Sherry Lee. Lastly, we'd like to recognize this year's recipient for the Campbell Award. The Campbell Award is this morning presented by Peter Valerius from the class of 2015, who is a member of the Columbia Alumni Association Board. The university trustees and board of the Columbia Alumni Association established the Campbell Award, and it's given to one graduating student from each school at the university who shows exceptional leadership and Columbia spirit as exemplified by the late Bill Campbell, Chair Emeritus, University Trustee, Outstanding Alumnus, and CAA Co-Founder. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 recipient of the Campbell Award, Sonia Nanda. I now have the distinct pleasure to introduce you this morning to our student government co-president, Hashim Ibrahim.
Good morning. First, I would like to start by saying thank you, Senator Wyden. God bless you and God bless people like your dad. I was really moved by his story. Dean Hubbard, Dean Malone, Dean Crawford, our distinguished guest speaker, Senator Wyden, distinguished faculty and administration, family, friends, and absolutely the amazing class of 2018. I'm incredibly honored and humbled to be standing here in front of you. Today is a special day. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. If your mother is here today, you are really lucky. I would like to send a special one to my mom. I love you, Mom, and I know you are watching now. I would like to start by quoting Milan Kundera, the French writer, the Czech-born French writer. He said, "Chance and chance alone has a message for us. Everything that occurs out of necessity, everything expected, repeated day in and day out is mute. Only chance can speak to us. We are so lucky to be here now. The reality is, this moment is one of those few moments in our lives when love, luck, and hard work come together to create something beautiful. How many of you remember that call when you heard that you got admitted to Columbia Business School? I remember mine. I was in a taxi, a weird no caller ID showed on my phone. I picked up and I heard, Hashim, this is Amanda Carlson from Columbia Business School. All what I remembered after this, I was screaming in that taxi. And the driver looked at me and said, you better give me a big tip. Just as many of you, I came to Columbia Business School with big dreams. I came after a long journey, a journey of hope and belief. My journey started where I grew up in Sudan, a country unfortunately devastated by the longest civil war in Africa, and now for more than 28 years ruled by a dictator and under a warrant from the International Criminal Court. My father was a political journalist. During this very oppressive regime, some nights he wasn't at home. And my mother would tell me that he was in prison again because, again, he chose to take stands with his words. Not every country respects a person's freedom of speech. God bless America. So my father was banned from journalism. We soon sold everything we had. It was a difficult experience for our family. And after 15 years of staying at home, taking care of me and my 5 siblings, my mom decided to go back to work. In my father's darkest hours, my mom stood by him and made it possible for us to have a home. That's the power of family. And today, as we are surrounded by your natural family and the family built at Columbia Business School, we get to say thanks together. Like each one of you, I am here only because of the sacrifices and selflessness of so many people who believed in me. Everyone can say how hard you should work and push through, how much focus you should put, and how many all-nighters it takes to achieve ambitious goals. But the reality is, all of this is not enough. All of this can help you knock the door. We need people who are on the other side to reach out and open those doors for us. I wouldn't be standing here if it's not for the sacrifices of my family. I wouldn't be standing here without that testing center manager who took a chance on me and allowed me to sit for the GMAT even though my country is under sanctions. I wouldn't be standing here without Merlina and her team who supported me and facilitated an institutional loan to complete my education. Because all banks refused to give me loans because of my nationality. I wouldn't be standing here without my friends who supported me throughout my time at Columbia Business School. I want you all to take a moment and think about all the people who supported us through those special 2 years. that friend who helped you through the core, homeworks and final, that friend who called you when you are feeling down to take you out, that friend who made sure you got home safe after an open bar after party. That friend who moved you out after a breakup or a new relationship. That friend who stood by you when you were recruiting and getting all those beautiful rejection calls. And that friend who celebrated you even before your super day. Those are some of the people who made it possible for us to be here now. We got lucky. They opened doors for us when we knocked. And now it's our turn to open for others. Today we celebrate our graduation together. Your next personal milestone may be your marriage or a baby, or perhaps your first million. I hope so. Let us commit to celebrating some of those moments also together. Let us commit to staying in touch, not only on Facebook. I hope to see you all at our 5-year reunion at Manhattansville. It's happening. It's happening. We came to Columbia Business School with big dreams, and now we are leaving not only with big dreams, but also with a bigger family. I love you all. Have an incredible, fulfilling life ahead. Congratulations on this moment, class of 2018. Thank you. Thank you so much. Allow me to introduce someone who needs no introduction. Her contribution to our community is beyond measure, and I'm so grateful to call her a great friend and a fellow co-president. Join me to welcome Molly Magnuson to the podium.
It's really hard to follow a professional actor and someone with such heart and charisma as Hashem, but I'll do my best. It was a struggle to come up with something to say today, and I mean that literally. I found myself with a broken phone that contained the only version of my speech, don't ask me how, during our unofficial graduation trip to Puerto Rico this past week. And not having access to your phone gives one time to think. Maybe too much time, a real stripping away of the inessential. And that got me thinking, how scary, yet rejuvenating, a fresh start or a clean slate can be. A difficult and daunting task made bearable by the number of memories and experiences here at CBS that I'm taking forward with me. We all had very different goals coming in. Mine was mediocrity, and I say that with total comfort and no shame, for being middle of the road with all of you fine people looked pretty darn good to me. But we're all leaving with the same thing, a degree, a 2-year experience that no one can take away from us. I felt that while here, it was pretty clear what one had to do to physically graduate. Although I did overhear some panicked conversations in Puerto Rico and confusion around what number of credits you actually needed. It was 60, by the way. And And we knew what we had to do to get in and to graduate here today. But what was the next step? And obviously that meant a job, but are we taking the right job? It meant a lot of different things to all of us. Friends have told me along the way that my 20s would be filled with asking this question, along with the freedom to mess up and try again or take a different path. Then I gently remind them that I'm in my 30s, and I wonder if the same rules apply. And it gets really silent, and I digress. In high school, I read Moby Dick, and one chapter in particular has stuck with me all these years. Chapter 47, The Map Maker. It talks about fate and free will and chance. And we can't do much about fate, but we can acknowledge chance and embrace free will, and it comes down to how you play those two. All of us sitting here today may not be entirely arbitrary. It was certainly a lot of hard work and grit. But we must sense its arbitrary aspect. As Hashem said, we are a lucky few. We're lucky in our existence, our parents, our teachers, our mentors. We're lucky that we got to be put together with a bunch of other lucky people. So let's not try to forget how lucky we are, but also the obligation that comes with that. The scary, yet truly exciting thing about our next step in our lives and ahead of CBS is that there is no core curriculum. Praise be. The entire place is an elective, an abundance of free will. The paths are infinite, the outcomes uncertain, and it likely will be maddening to us because our strength has always been about achievement. An MBA is something you complete, which I think most of us have, and life is something we experience. And maybe we like achievement so much because it is a marker of success that we can control. Experiences entail good and bad, highs and lows, and sometimes very little control. I was fortunate enough to have a dear friend, and while she's no longer with us, she taught me something about the joy of living, but most significantly, she taught me life perspective, to find comedy, signs of a greater life, plan, or meaning in some of the most trivial or frustrating situations. And for me, that's really been a lifesaver, because things will go wrong in friendship and in business and in love and in health and in all the other ways that life can go wrong. And when things get tough, what else can we do but try our hand at doing just that? So what did I get from my experience at CBS? I, for one, conquered two very real fears. One was a fear of flying and the other public speaking. Thanks to all the trips and mile logged, I somehow managed to conquer the former, and if I've made it this far in my speech, then it means I've also somewhat successfully conquered the latter. But in seriousness, we want so desperately to believe that our time and experiences here mattered, that they mean something. And it did, to an extent. But in behavioral economics, I learned that when you look backwards, your memories are defined by two moments, the peak and the end. We all experience these different highs and lows, but today is our collective end. And I'm so glad we get to have this moment together, because I think it is, in fact, the people that we meet along the way who shared in our lives, even if just for a small fleeting moment. I don't know if you think 2 years is a long time or a really short amount of time, that make this experience so important. Years ago, my dad described life to me as an intricate web of people's gifts to one another. Dad, you might not remember telling me that, but you did. I am thankful to so many of you for friendship and community, ones that require no pretension or prerequisites, which I believe is really the ultimate act of gift giving. As I'm sure many of us feel today, I'm grateful to CBS for learning how to think differently, to navigate uncertainty, learn by doing, and certainly influence without any semblance of authority. I am grateful to everyone in admissions, obviously. I was watching Lady Bird on the plane this past week, and a young girl receives the letter notifying her that she got into her dream school. And perhaps it was the music playing, but I could not stop bawling. And I think the woman sitting next to me thought I was having a breakdown, and mind you, I haven't even broken my point at this point, it was on the way to Puerto Rico. But it was just all so viscerally familiar. I felt like I had just gotten that call from Amanda Carlson yesterday. Perhaps one of the best moments of my life, and I'm sure for many of you it was the same. I'm grateful to have learned how to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. As your class president, I really wish I had taken courses earlier in my experience. I think the Having Difficult Conversations module and simulation in PLS and Power and Influence and Top Management would have been helpful to get through the year. But lucky for me, I've had the good friendship and guidance of many of you, and the patience from most. All of you have commanded a presence in my everyday through fate and fortune, adding depth and color and relevance to my experience, and for that I am so grateful. Most of all, I'm thankful for the infinite memories with all of you so intertwined with my own, and the innumerable things you taught me about fortitude, character, and perseverance. I know that I am lucky and humbled to be graduating from Columbia, a place that understands and rewards the bet that many of us are placing on ourselves. An expensive bet, no less, and I hope I feel the same way in year 10 of my loan repayments, but you can ask me at reunion. Thank you to the executive board and student government, my cluster mates all the way in the back there. Yeah, H. Obviously a few in the front with the award recipients. All my fellow folliers for letting me just laugh and get it all out. Professors, and my mentor and biggest cheerleader sharing the stage with me today, Dean Crawford. And on behalf of all my classmates, because I think I'll take the liberty and assume all of you feel the same, thank you to our family and friends, because without you it would not have only been impossible to have done this, but it would have been meaningless. I am filled with optimism about the potential for this class to do things that matter, and I'm confident in everyone's ability sitting here to contribute. All of you truly know how to frame a problem with your hungry intellect, and most of you with an open mind. And now it's just a matter of not being afraid to use what you know and to share what you've learned. Here I am getting all preachy, but I can't help it. I know that you'll embrace the future, because from what I've experienced, we all thrive on the notion that we can change it. Congratulations, class of 2018. I'm so humbled to be just one of such a commanding and impressive crew. Keep it real, keep it honest, and remember that I'll always be cheering for you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Before I start calling names, congratulations on not only starting your own businesses or getting your dream job or working with us to drive change at CBS, but I've seen firsthand how you've rallied behind your classmates when they needed you most. From supporting your classmates who were impacted by hurricanes in Puerto Rico, Houston, and floods in India, to the sudden loss of parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, nieces, and nephews. You are all family now. So on this special day, I know you'll be tempted to leave, but I want you to clap and cheer for every single one of your classmates who walk across this stage, because they deserve it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it. Cluster X. Sarah Ahmed. Irdem Altay. Christopher Arzumanian. Pat Banyat Piapad. Rajiv Batra. Shefali Bardwaj. Catalina Rondo. Alexander Burns. Lena Maria Bustos. Bianca Caban. Alejandra Camacho. Ingram Carpenter. Josefina Serrano. Kate Cha. Justin Charles. Yaxi Chen. Jonathan A. Cohen. Jonathan Cohen. Jeremy Coucher. Ekaterina Dmitrieva. Silvio Urkens. Timur Espriagas. Gustavo Gaspar Campagna. Javier Gil Arafat. Philip Grant. Ross Hibbard. Dalton Hyun. Asif Junaid. Michael Ketting. Cristiano. Cheryl Lynn. Marty Lopez. Rosaloria Lopez. Linda Liu. Evangeline Luo. Carol Mao. Daniel Martinez. Fabian Muller. Mateos Pinedo. Ben Parabani. Lucas Raziati. Stefan Sakai. Daniel Siegel. Robin Shapiro. Deborah Schnee Rifkin. Jennifer Silverstein. Subham Singhal. David Sitt. Marius Scrondel. Taylor Smith. Jack Stevens. Audrey Stickers. Minsu Sung. Jacqueline Tamaris. Steve Toole. Lily Wyden. Baud Yagnam. Zifan Yang. Jungmo Yoon. Si Wee. Cluster Y. Eniola Ambambola. Robert Edelson. Lucas Ayerza. Bani Bahari. Gabriel Lucas Barthelmess. Matt Bellamy. Christopher Case Byrne. Clay Canning. Emily Carton. Ziran Chen. Sheldon Chang. Mark Chevalier Gormley. Sana Chopra. Teresa Leonarda Chacho. Francesco Leonardo Consoni. Murillo Horto. Zainab Araglu. Sarah Ferrario. George Franklin. Uli Gerlach. Rajvardhan Garantla. Shamsi Goyal. Juan Humbert. Alan Hatoinen. Lindsay Johnson. Sean Kerr. Pavitra Kapkunsawan. Uma Coloretti. Ashish Raj Kumar. Murali Krishnan. Samuel Giwan Kwok. Yen Lei. Ryan Leon. Ray Leon. Shariar Malik. Deep Master. Woody Moini. Arturo Mello. Nora Mina Quesada. Did I say it right? Sorry. Ricardo Massetti. Shirag Nawal. Patrick Obied. Matthew Rosen. Jonathan Rossi. Eric Schaefer. Josh Schenker. Reed Schauflin. Josh Shin. Alice Signori. Sahilin Sint-Araja. Adriana Souza e Silva. Sarah Spear. Bruna Saplisi. Andrew Taub. Daniel Tedesco. Carl Oscar Thone. Eureka Tokuzumi. Diego Uya Bundici. Felipe Vandeland. Jeremy Yang. Carl Ziad. Cluster Z. Will Albertus. Patrick Bellman. Ukash Bala. Diego Cordosa Cancada. Julio Chian. Shivam Chopra. George Doble. Duvina Asal Farahi. David Faulkner. Corey Fulton. Ariel Gold. Michael Hardiman. Matt Henderson. Rodrigo Husni. Tate Jackson. Jeffrey Kalski. Deepti Kemka. Junhan Kim. Junwoo Kim. Thomas Klokanas. Natalie Kok Fong. Scott David Creasa. Victoria Quay. Jay Lau. Yeonju Lee. Santiago Masoroni. Marwan Matar. Daniel McConnell. Aman Mehta. Lindsay Barley Moran. Pantra Mungjinda. Daniel Nadalin. Alvaro Nunez Gonzalez. Sevinch Alte. Andres Palacios Shippert. Gonzalo Plotnick. Samita Raheja. Philip Wolfgang Renner. Elena Richermo. Joao Bernardium Romeo. Rushab Sadiwala. Francesca Sarakia. Joseph Sherbin. Michael Shub. Tanya Silva. Takahiro Sobi. Shoko Tanaka. Christian Tanzi. Chad Tappendorf. Miguel Tavares. Nicholas Tropin. Ernst van Bruggen. Kira Wang. Alon Weber. Dara Weiss. Paula Wolner Falapak. Anthony Yakubu. Alima Zimonova.
Cluster A, Matthew Albert. Renata Almeida. Insung Baek. Paul Barsky. James Simon Beal. Jessica Beidelman. Hudson Bova. Nicholas Navit Brioti. Brian Cherry. Joseph Bernard Cosentino. Spencer Duhame. Benjamin Eisler. Manuel Fernandez Horado. Nemesio Fernandez Cuesta. Steffi Fitter. Elliot Fry. Joao Furtado. Oliver Garston. Jeffrey Jarej. Isabel Gil Casares. Monica Gorman. Sander Gossard. Donovan Hamlet. V. Tran Hyun. Natasha Idnani. Hai Ming Ji. Natasha Mohan Korgankar. Daniel LeBlanc. Bayon Lee. Alan Lee. Isabella Lin. Tristan Loeffler. Jorge Luis Perez. Ethan Mackey. Ethan James Mackay, sorry. Woo! Rahul Mahtani. Slow down. Oh. Matthew Mann. Federico Martino. Liz Nyland. Nisa Ostrov. Allison Perrin Ambler. Roman Prudhomme. Isabel Rosenthal. Alexandra Elizabeth Savona. Sharag Shah. Ricky Schenfeld. Wei Ching Shi. Sharu Singhal. Bernardita Subriabre. Danuka Silva. Claire Tang. Michael Torsen. Nino Tahadia. Kirsten Turnbull. Erin Lynn Vigil. Evelyn von Bischofshofen. Annie Wang. Dylan West. Mallory West. Onika Williams. Stephanie Xiang. Panfei Yin. Tea Zhao. Cluster B. Avi Shalom Ardun. Junie Astor. Roland Kelly Komla Atias Jr. Guillermo Ayastaran. Colleen Babiak. Yaprak Barun. Clay Bartlett. Samuel Benson. Teresa Burgle San Martin. Benjamin Bergsma. Deanna Berkovitz. Kathy Chang. Marta Cuenca Ruiz. Karen Fahmy. Samuel Fenwick. Axel Freitag. Tomohiko Fukusumi. Annabelle Elizabeth Grassley Fowler. Mariano Gomez Quiroga. John Grogan. Gu Zuji. Tai-il Ha. Masahiro Isobi. Young Woo Jiang. Jason Kiovichit. Marwa Khan. Lena Kuo. Joseph Lee. Alexandra Layton. Ashley Lee. Benjamin Lincoln. Kelly Lipson. Heather Fang Liu. Tiago Mafra. Alexander Smithberg Margolis. Andrew Marquise. Michael Martinowitz. Mario Masrier. Anne Monina Dorothea McGrath. Edwin McLaughlin. Mehmet Retchit Melik. Allison Minogue. Oliver Nortware. April Chi. Alice Ra. George Rock. Stephen Rosenthal. Christopher Russell. Nicole Savori. Naz Shams. Sudipto Shom. Kola Siddiqui. Sun Kang So. Aaron Jacob Springgut. Alexander Teixeira. Andrew Valerie. Angela Wang. Stacy Mullane Warren. Joanne Williams. TJ Winfrey. Michelle Yeboah. And John Zelaznik. Cluster C. Lauren Agrain. Syed Almori. Raul Arguedas. Gautam Bahadur. Bridget Beitel. Angela Concha Corso. Fernando Concha Bambach. Windsor Cristobal. Rory Cunane. Maje Mita Dafinoni. Vicky Sinville Darbuz. Ellie Dubnov. Ariana Espinosa. Maria Filas. Kenneth Fujita. Ashley Gottlieb. Namwan Jung. William Kiegler. Ryan Kelly. Patrick Capenny. Emily Kingsley Ma. Pedro Kuczynski. Kimberly Kung. Jake Kupperman. Dominique Laurie. Peach Lerprapan. Rotem Levquikal. Hao Yuan Lee. Bo Lee. Scott Liftman. Anji Lin. Brittany Carmen Lutz. Jordan Marin. Maeve McCoy. Christine McLaren. James Cole McWhorter. James Menny. Matthew Miller. Matthias Nadeo. Anastasia Nairn. Molly O'Connor. Babatunde Oguntumiyan. Asumi Ota. Arda Ozgul. Charlotte Paulson. Eric Perkins. Moses Ranama. Selu Sadekova. Adam Schloss. Guy Shahar. Hannah Siegelberg. Haley Smith Reeser. Corey Stone. Alexia Tamer. Zachary Thorson. JJ Tsao. Denora Villalobos Cavazos. Jonathan Yan. Ellen Yang. Kate Yang. Carrie Yuk. Ron Zoe.
Okay. Cluster D. Begona Arajo Perez. Lara Barek. Pedro Barata. Lauren Bellett. Herman Matthias Blomqvist. Chinmay Borker. Travis Bowden. Amrinder Chawla. Sandy Cheng. Jia-Chi Chin Tsui. Jacob Doyle. Miriam Fakru. Gabriel Feingold. Thomas Frischkind. Sho Fujiwara. Raj Ganguly. Cyril Gratis. Hao Han. Zane Haq. Luis Hector Rubio. Lindsay Helfman. Timothy Herr. Lexi Hill. Matthew Hober. Amanda Huang. Yorta Yurtov. Pratik Jain. Raisa Javed. Se Woong Jeong. Harsh Javeri. Asia Sydney Johnson. Michael Kane. Shohei Kashia. Wei Lin Lai. Harold Lee. Tim Liu. Juan Landianso. Claire Lloyd. Aaron Markovitz. Connor Patrick McKenna. Victor Morrow. Lyndon Ray Mouton. Tondo M. Charlie. Eileen Ng. Kelvin Ng. Ming Nguyen. Lilia Nowak. Samuel Knopfzinger. Patience Wumi Olatori. Andrea Oran. David Oskos. Dipen Patel. Divya Raj. Harry Robertson. Jenna Shurell. next one. Jamie Schmidt. Alexa Schwartz. Jeffrey Silberman. Gabriella Studemeyer. Jason Sue. Kriti Tanawaput. Maxwell Tobin. Annabelle Tsai. Jin Wan. Emma Werner. Jillian Windsor. Zhao Yuan Zheng. Cluster E. Udith Agarwal. Jarrett Arkin. Medina Baikatamova. There we go. Eugenio Bakar Varela. Joaquin Beral. Lloyd Blashka. Allison Bogdanov. Robert Bach. Catherine Hillary Honor Brown. Isabella Capotonetto Rag. Sowan Cha. Daka Cho. Elena De Quieros. Nicholas Drayson. Moises Eskenazi. Mark Fabros. Maria Claudine Fernandez. Adam Fu. Kira Gangarumani. Joe Grusaki. Ananth Handa. Anne Hayford. Elena Hernandez Valle. Roxanne Hirsch. Cayetana Hurtado Rodriguez. Antonia Hyman. Benjamin James. Elizabeth Kim. Candace Kuntz. Miriam Rebecca Cruel. Seth Soon Hee Young Kwan. Jae-min Lee. Camilla Lercari Miranda. Sam Longair. Jill Lukeman. Elizabeth McHugh. Fabian McNally. Charles Mead. Chris Moon. William Morrison. Peyton Elizabeth Osterman. Chan Penn. Michelle Ainsley Persad. James Phelan. Raymond Pois. Darpita Purohit. Patricia Ribieras. Daniel Robbins. Kian Rohani. Aristotle Sibianis. Timothy Silver. Jared Smith. Joseph Summerdike. Tim Stenovic. Sanford Asher Sternberg. Keith Tabin. Natalie Tadina. Kelly Ann Tully. Arushi Uboweja. Christopher Waller. Justin Weiss. Christopher Wilhelmi. Liz Ye. Mandy Young. Jesse Zanino. Deed Sanford Ziegler. Victor Zimmerman. Cluster F. Mark Abramowitz. Einat Aldog. Bankole Cardoso. Kenneth Chan. Sujong Chi. Mike D'Souza. Stephanie Deutsch. Jacqueline Hunzinger Eustace. Jonathan Fingato. Abby Freeman. Albert Garrido. Oh, Elaine Gang. Jordan Gialonzo. Wenceslao Guerrero Matos. Samantha Haliba. Nicole Youngbin Hilaire. Suk Kun Hong. Hui Yu Xie. Edward Wong. Kristen Volpe Josephs. Yohei and the beautiful Yuri Kajia. She's in Carter's class. Anushka Kapoor. Jeffrey Katz. Hyung Kyu Yoon. Kevin Klein. Carrie Kametzko. Michael Kraslow. Jimmy Lee. Antonio Lecarica. I got yours too. Caroline Lavier. Tyler Lee. Heather Lee. Corinna Lee. Lynn, sorry. Evan Ludwig. Atticon Met. Sebastian Mascara. Duck Hyun Nam. Nicholas Nanetti. Lauren O'Mara. Sigfredo Orama. Laura Palantone. Alex Palantoni. Priyank Pandey. Tara Pauly. Melitza Pavlovich. Pramod Prasad. You guys ready? Okay. Miriam Rappaport Hinden. Charles Rexford. David Schreiber. Sepulveda. Francisco Sepulveda. Barnett Sarah. Nachapol Sirilertsambat. Nancy Situ. William Smith. Michael Stack. Emily Steinberg. Alexander Toronto. Cheo Torres. Cristo Ticentas. Jillian Wang. Ryan Williams. Thomas Williams. Vincent Zeus. Lillian Shia. Faye Yang. Denise Yoon. Do you want me to just...
I'm going to say something to them. Class of 2018, we are almost finished. There are 2 more clusters left. Just hold on tight and cheer for the rest of your classmates. Tanara Alcantara Cruvinel. David Amstutz. Samuel Berger. Rashmi Bhagwat. Abik Bhattacharya. Maya Brown. Joaquin Canavas. Shagun Chopra. Wendy DeWolf. Ram Nikhil Dada. Paulina Doherty. Adam Escalante. Brendan Fisher. Matthew Foxman. Rachel Friedman. Lauren Fulton. Yvonne Fung. Andres Gellerstein. Zachary Gorn. Andrew Gottesdiener. Eric Guo. Taewoo Han. Shelley Han. Jeff Harrington. Shuli Hurwitz. Chris Huang. Jason Jing. Michael Kahn. Joy Kang. Michael Katz. Adam Kurbis. Is your name Jessica? Jessica Kim. Michael Kerwin. Jason Ko. Guan Suli. Xiangquang Li. Emily Laterio. David Lewin. Catherine Liang. Leo Wei Hua. Leo Young. Corey Mahoney. Nicholas Maldonado. Layla Maroof. Fabrizio Matzinger. Evan Mintz. Francesca Neptune. Savesh Navatia. Charles Raffini. Aparna Ramukrishnan. Michelle Deborah Repack. Ryan Rip. Catherine Ritter. Augustin Ruiz Taboda. Guilherme Sena. Eric Setti. Joseph Stanley. Michael Steinberg. Matthew Taylor. Schlock Vidya. Kyle Van Decker. Louis Verdi. Ri Wang. Daniel Wong. Melissa Wu. Sophia Zamora Palacios.
H.
Cluster H. Alberto Alvarez Fernandez. Omid Betty. Danielle Bucket. Michael Byerly. Carmen Cho. Teresa Chang. Kevin Connolly. Griffin Dan. Andrew Chernecki. Elizabeth Dishi. Sydney Fairhair. Nathaniel Franks. Emily Fukunaga. Kevin Giroux. Gilberto Javizio. Elsbeth Grant. Allison Graubeck. Manusi Gupta. Rob Haddock. Stephanie Hu. Philip Hum. Jack Cantelas. Raphael King West. Alexander Kirschenbaum. Anton Koritsko. Nicholas Kramer. Jade Lau. Eunice Lee. Ewan Lee. Shuqing Lee. Rawling Law. Aaron Marbley. Adam Martin. Alexander Mavrovitis. Jordan McNulty. Saulo Mendez. Maximilian Christopher Molman. Maria Luisa Murad. Kevin Nichols. Aniket Nakam. Youngjin Oh. David Osteen. Sean O'Rourke. Barun Pandey. Vikas Patel. Or Perluk. Anastasia Pronin. Alexander Richter. John Rogers. Rohit Samarth. Rebecca Schmierer. Maria Sebastian. Yu Shimada. Zachary Schuster. Jenna Stoffer. Julia Takeda. Kerry Taub. Stella Wang. Kate Whitelaw. Bethel Yamamambaran. Award winners and on stage, Jenny Ray LaRue. Victoria Din. John Griffin Dowdy. Imani Gooden. Connor Leary. Andrew Quartuccio. Emily Snyder. Jefferson Taylor. Benjamin Tubiana. Jem Turkelly. Matthew Wilson. Anna Alganus. Catherine Jane Cook. Gregory Feldman. Gabriel Gonzalez. TJ Ha. Bassam Husnain. Enrique Parada. Sarah Schenker. Alan Gransberg. Mrinal Mahanka. Fareen Ahmed. Will Meow. Jimmy Sauerbier. Jake Alcorn. Jonathan Dwyer. Sherry Lee. Sonia Nanda Hober. Josh Landay. Molly Magnuson. Ladies and gentlemen, graduate number 752 from the class of 2018, Hashim Mohammed Khalil Ibrahim.
Okay, now I know that I am now in the unenviable position of standing between you and your family and friends at a reception, so I'll be brief. But I did want to say just two things. The first and most important is, again, congratulations to all of you. The second is a thought, and it's this. Probably as you were suiting up this morning or last night and thinking about coming today, somebody mentioned to you that whatever it was that you had in mind was not the right thing. You should do something else, or those best days are gone. I want you never to believe someone like that. And I'll just leave you with a quick story. Some years ago, when I was working in the White House, I traveled to Japan to work on a trade agreement. We're still working on it. It's called the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It's been a while. I came back with my Japanese colleague, and we landed at Dulles Field, got in a cab to go to the Capitol to talk to some members of Congress, and we passed the National Archives, on which is written "Past is Prologue." Takanaka-san, my Japanese colleague, turned to me and said, "What does that mean?" And I launched into one of my long-winded college professor-y kind of riffs. And the cab driver lost it and turned around and said, "What he's trying to tell you is, you ain't seen nothing yet. That's your future." Give yourselves another round of applause. This stage will proceed with graduates behind us, so if guests could remain seated while graduates file out, we're going to lead you to Ansel Plaza across campus, where your reception awaits. Thank you and God bless.
once again. Ladies and gentlemen, please wait until all the graduates have exited before exiting the guest seating area. Thank you.
Yep.